Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm gonna teach you about vector. Before starting, I would like to suggest you all, while watching this video, make a note of important point which I'm gonna talk in this video. So let's start. Firstly, I would talk about what is vector. So vector, it is a container used to store element of similar data type in one data structure. So it also comes into a STL concept. STL means standard template library used in our CPP like stack, list, array and vector also and many more. So it is also same as a dynamic array with the ability to resize itself automatically when the element is inserted or deleted. So we can change like the after defining our vector size during the execution of our program as per our requirement we can change the size of vector also, which is not in array. In the array, at the time of declaration we have to define the maximum limit of our array size. We cannot go beyond that size, but in the vector we can do. Like if I give you a example, like inserting and removing an element at an end takes only constant time in vector. Let's suppose if you want to add an element in your vector, you have to only give like in vec some variable name of your vector dot pushback. Pushback we use as a function to insert our element into the vector from the backside. So we can use this pushback function in for inserting an element from the backside. Let's suppose if you want to insert an erase at the beginning or in the middle, it only takes linear in time. In the vector, it is possible because I give you one reason, like vector element are placed in contiguous storage so that they can be accessed and traversed during using an iterator. So it is also same with the array, but in array you cannot resize our size of an array after declaring. In the vector we can do. Let's suppose here I will talk about some functionality: pushback, popback, begin, end, rbegin, rend, size. So this all are function vector uses. For pushback, I have defined it already. Like this is a pushing an element into the vector from the backside, and popback it is used to remove an element from the vector from the backside. And begin it is give an iterator a pointer to the pointing to the first element in the vector, and end it will return opposite of the begin, like at the end of the your last element in the vector it will point to that element. And here we can most also sometimes we use r begin and r end. R begin it means it is a reverse feature of begin. It means in the begin we use the first element, in the r begin it will point to the last element of your vector. So it moves from last to first, and in the begin it will move your pointer from begin to last. So here if you want to access the size of your vector you can use this function size. It will return the number of elements in the vector. So let's I will demonstrate one example. And one important thing, for vector using in your CPP you have to include this header file in your CPP file. So let's start. Here I am declaring a vector. How to declare? Firstly you have to give the keyword vector, and after that you have to define into the arrow bracket a data type of your vector, like similar data type it will contain. So you have to define the data type of your vector. So I have defined as int because I am storing int data type in my vector. And after that you have to give the variable name. Here I have defined back, and here I am using pushback for inserting a element in our vector. I inserted 1, 2 and 3 element. So after that I'm here I am evaluating the size of our vector. It will return the size of number of element in our vector. So how to traverse through the array through the vector? You can use as a simple, if you know the size of your array vector, you can use it like here. I'm using same as an array. We are defining a for loop for accessing every element of a vector. After that one, I am popping out one element from the, because we are using pop back, it means it will pop remove an element from the backside. So here I am popping out. So if you see, I would run this code. If you see, firstly I have inserted 1, 2 and 3 in our vector, and we used back pop for removing one element from the backside. So it reduces the size of array. So here it is 2. Let's suppose I'm using again pop back. Now if you run this code, now the size of a vector is 1. So it means it will removing an element from the backside. Okay, here is another example of vector. I created one program for the taking a user input in our vector. Here firstly I am taking the number of element wants to insert in the vector, and after that I am taking the input from the user and insert it into the using pushback function in the vector. And after that I am through our traversing through vector. I have used for loop, but this time I used iterator function. Iterator, it means a pointer pointing to the at the start of the our vector and the end of the vector. I used begin and end function. If you see, auto keyword I used because if we don't know about the data type of our variable, that time we have to use auto. It will automatically detect the data type of variable. And now I am printing our iterator use it is same like pointer. So I'm printing out. So I would firstly I run this code, and here the number of elements should be 5, and here I'm giving 5 elements, and now you can see it will printing the 5 element. Okay, that's all for the today. Thank you.